Hi everyone, I'm back from vacation from Florida. I do not have a tan. I am exactly the same color. It was cold. It was cold in Florida. We did not expect that. I brought like 4 pairs of shorts. Didn't wear them once. Not once. I wore pajama shorts to bed, but did I wear shorts outside? Not a chance. Um, they, it was like hot for maybe 2-3 hours a day, and I really enjoyed those 2-3 hours a day, and it was sunny and beautiful, and I took off my scarf and took off my sweater for a few hours and put it right back on again. And it wasn't a relaxing vacation. It was hectic. Like, we were busy doing stuff every single day, all day long, 7 in the morning. Like, we left the house or the hotel by 7 in the morning, so we're up by like 6 and didn't get home until 10, 11. So we were gone all day long and didn't rest. By the end of the trip, I was sleeping in every vehicle possible, whether it was a cab or a bus or the subway or the tram or whatever. And I fell asleep in a theater, which we sat at a dine-in theater because it was the only showing left for Night at the Museum. And it was a dine-in theater, so you had these ridiculously comfortable reclining chairs, and then nobody behind you that you can reach, and nobody in front of you that you can reach, and there's like places for you to put your feet so that you could kick your feet up. And Wes and I both fell asleep, and Wes has never fallen asleep in a movie ever, so both of us were just out. So by the end of the trip, we were sleeping everywhere. But and then last night I went to sleep at 7, and I was up at 5, so I slept 10 hours last night. So it definitely tired us out, but if I needed Project Happy, I got Project Happy in Disney World. Happiest place on earth is no lie. I was just telling my grandma all about this, so she'll be hearing about all this twice now. One of the last mornings we got to the Magic Kingdom quite early, and there was a welcome thing. So they sang like a welcome song, good morning song, and they sang Zippity Doo Dah, and all the fun characters came through on a choo-choo train, which was like chewing, and then the smoke was choo-chooing. And they all came on, and they're all waving and singing and dancing, and then they opened up the doors, and nobody was like running or pushing or shoving. Everyone just kind of walked right in, and we all had our common goals for the days just to get to the castle, and all the workers were out on the street saying good morning and waving and smiling and greeting everybody and telling everyone to have a nice day. And it was just the best, most warmest welcome I've ever had in my entire life. So it was just the happiest place, and we just had the best time, and I really, really needed it. I mean, it wasn't a relaxing vacation. I didn't get to relax, but I had time to enjoy life and just be happy, and that was really needed. And I feel so much better now that I'm back. And we gave ourselves about a day and a half to relax at home before I went to work this morning, and we never ever do that. We always come home Sunday, unpack, go to sleep, and go to work in the morning, and we've done that like the last 3 trips. So it was nice to have a day and a half to relax, and slept for 10 hours and all of that. So speaking of the vacation, I was obviously really worried about going on vacation and for the food. I did bring animal crackers and my gluten-free crackers with me on the plane, not on the plane, sorry, in my luggage, so that I could have on the trip, which was kind of a godsend, because if I was ever so hungry and weren't going to get to a restaurant in a while, it was nice to have that on me so that I could eat something so that we could get to a restaurant. And we did eat some fast food at some like cafeteria type places. They had chicken burgers, so I just got the chicken with no bun or lettuce or tomato or anything. And then some of the places had green beans, so just had the chicken and the green beans and was good on that. Ate crab for the first time, and Wes joked that it took me to get to Florida, to Disney World, to try Sebastian for the first time. So here I am on my first night in Disney World with like bright red Sebastian on my plate. So Wes had a good kick out of that, which was so good. But I had my fill, you know, a big snow crab, one night, and then 2 nights later had it again. I'm so done with crab. I've had enough to last me a little while. But it was really good. And then they made me a baked potato, no dairy, just ate out of the skin, and then some really good cooked asparagus. So they were really good. Going to the fast foody places there, they always, like if I ask for something without something, they always ask if it's for dietary reasons, so then I would say yes. Then I had to talk to a manager or somebody who specializes in allergies, and they had to reference an allergy book, which, I mean, there's 10 different pages of no nuts, no dairy, no gluten, no this, no that, and so I had to look at every single page and find a common denominator of what I could eat there. So it was kind of slim pickings, and I mean, there was like roasted potatoes here and there that I could have, but most of them had skins on them. I mean, almost every single potato that I ordered had skin on it. So I was like, even some of the fries, and I shouldn't have had fried food, but I mean, my choices were so limited that if we were in a hurry and we needed to get somewhere, I had to order a single fry. So if it had skin on it, I was like eating a fry like it was corn on the cob, like just getting away from the skin. So that was kind of mortifying and kind of exhausting. And even like the snow crab, I've never had snow crab before. It took me like an hour and a half to get all the meat out of the snow crab. So I was kind of exhausted going through all my food. And this is totally like first world problems, and having to wait for the manager every time, and then their process and procedure is that if anyone has dietary issues, regardless of if they're anaphylaxis or not, they need to clean off a grill so that they can cook everything on a clean grill, which I stressed to them that I did not need that, but that's their process and procedure. So for other people, that's fantastic and necessary, but I had to wait like 2 to 4 times longer than I would have had to if they didn't have to clean off a new grill. So some places I didn't have any options, and then of course that's when I was having fries, but other places had plenty options, and I'd meet with the manager or the chef at the place, because lots of chefs would come out, and they would be like, we don't want you to go home hungry, so we're going to find something that you can eat. And so the one morning we went for breakfast, and there was only one thing. I ordered a child's menu. There was only one thing on the entire plate that I couldn't have. It was just potatoes, but they put cheese on it, which wasn't on the menu, and I didn't look at their allergy thing because it looked like I could have everything. So then I just said to them, like, is there something I can get in replacement? And so then, of course, they had to get to the manager, and I had to wait for the manager, and then he brought the book, and he said, you know, he didn't want me to go home hungry, and because I was getting a kid's menu, there wasn't, I mean, a lot of food. So then we go and we sat down at the table, and there was so much food, like, that he brought fruit and more eggs and more this and more that, and I shouldn't have had the eggs, but decided I'd try scrambled eggs. And then sure enough, 3 hours later, I was going to the bathroom. But regardless, I did have more than enough to eat, and it was something that I was trying to see if I could handle and learn that. And anyway, so there was some very kind people that were very determined to find something that I could have that I could enjoy. And I mean, even though I was paying $10 for a meal of just plain potatoes and plain chicken, at least I was able to eat something. So that was really nice. I did push my limits. I had sugar. At Animal Kingdom, they had a snack stand of all gluten-free, dairy-free options, which that park, if anyone's going, that park was the only one that had this stand. And as soon as I found out about it, I was quite excited. So they had dairy-free ice cream, and it's called Tafudi, which I don't even think we have here, but the texture is so much better than rice cream. And I really, really liked it. I mean, it's not ice cream by any means, but it was, the texture of it was quite enjoyable, and they had gluten-free cookies and gluten-free donuts. So I had a gluten-free donut, and one day, and then another day I had a gluten-free cookie with the gluten-free ice cream, like a little sundae thing. So I did have some sugar and didn't have any type of reaction. I also had a pretzel. I mean, I tried so hard to eat the way that I've been eating at home, but pretzels, I mean, I didn't have any popcorn. that's good. Didn't have any pop, but I had, well, I'll get to that in a second. I didn't have, things that I wasn't supposed to have besides fried food and some sugar, but I had the pretzel, and gosh, it was so good. It was just so good. And again, I didn't react. So it's so good knowing that if I do need to go outside of my comfort zone, that I can, and I'm not going to regret it later. The eggs, though, I'm not having eggs. Not having eggs. Maybe one day, not right now. And so, yeah, I was really surprised that physically I didn't really have to worry. Physically, my vacation was not harmed in any way. I was perfectly fine. I was going once a day. The day that I had eggs, I went twice. But other than that, I was perfectly fine and came home, and I'm still fine. So I'm really thankful, because my husband and I were talking, like a month ago, I wouldn't have been able to even go on vacation, let alone have a gluten-free sugar donut and a pretzel. So that was really a relief, such a relief. I didn't have to worry, I guess, even though I still ate things I wasn't supposed to and still did stay on track for most of the part. I didn't suffer. So about the pop thing, I had butterbeer. So for you Harry Potter fans, they made butterbeer to be at the Hogwarts and Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, and it is the best thing that I've ever had in my entire life. And I said, I don't care how sick I am, I'm having butterbeer when I go. And I had butterbeer. More than one. Maybe more than 5. Maybe. And it's from what I Googled about how to make it on your own. And it's dairy free. So if you think butterbeer, there's no dairy in it. And I think we think it's just because so many people are lactose intolerant that they had to. So it's made from whey. And cream soda and butterscotch. Oh my God. It was so good. So that was my big indulgence. I mean, the other things were kind of like crossing the line, but this one was like, you should not be drinking this. Like, nobody should be drinking that. Butterscotch and cream soda. Like, cream soda is already like just 100% bad for you, not 1 ounce of nutrients. Then you add some butterscotch in there. Why not? And some whey, like some delicious sugar-filled whey. Like, you don't even think, like, I didn't think it was dairy-free, and I had to like double, triple, quadruple ask them. There was no dairy in this, and I'm 100% no dairy in it, but it just was so good. Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna have it ever again. It was really good. So, if you ever go, you have to have 1 or 4 or 5 or 10. That's fine. No one will judge you, because it's so good. And you can have it frozen, you can have it hot, and you can have just like a regular like drink. And we had it frozen because the hot did have dairy in it. But the frozen was good too, but not like the regular. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm getting salivating. So the itchiness, I still have the itchiness, and it's driving me crazy. And I haven't talked to my doctor yet about it. And I just I'm itchy at night, mostly at night. And I don't know why. Maybe that's because when I've had all my medication, like I have 5 pills in me by the end of the day, 5 Asacol. But it's really, really itchy, and it's really annoying, and it's weird because like I have pretty sensitive skin, so if I itch something, usually I have like a mark there or something, and for some reason I'm itching and there's no marks and there's no bumps and there's no lumps. It's just itch, like just itch. There's no dry skin, like it's perfectly healthy skin, and I'm itching like crazy and nothing's happening. Like it's just itch, and I've never experienced anything like that before. I still have the weird acne on my back. Someone recommended I go get some, what's that stuff called? Proactive. Someone suggested I get the body wash, and it's funny, like I've never had acne in my entire life, so I don't even know how to treat it. I know like perfumey things irritate it, and my body wash that I have right now is perfumey, so it's probably not good to use it. And I mean, I don't put lotion on my back, so I don't really know how to treat acne. So I'm open to suggestions, but I'll try the Proactive body wash when I get to getting some. I'm not going to the mall right now. Oh my gosh, can't do it. So I'll try that and see. But when I was on vacation, and this isn't like unusual for me, but I got a rash on my face, like a beard rash. It was really gross. And I got a rash in Barbados and I got a rash in St. Kitts. Like, it's not uncommon for me to get rashes when I'm on vacation, but I just feel like they're so connected, like the itchiness and having the rash. Like, I feel like it's not a coincidence that I got it. So I kind of just suffered through it. And I had some hydrocortisone with me, so that helped relieve it because it was like burning, itching. But it seems to be gone now, so it could have just been vacation rash, like, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I've started introducing things to my diet. Mostly sugar has been the only thing. Just because I was able to have fries and stuff on vacation doesn't mean that I should be eating that every day. I have been trying to research more about what to eat while in remission, because I feel like going once a day, I'm probably in remission. I still haven't had like that really good solid. Like, I'm really, really still holding out for the solid. Like I'm holding out so hard for a solid. But going once a day, maybe twice, that's normal. And the blood is basically subsided. So I've taken care of myself physically. I've done everything I could possibly do to take care of myself physically. And so I'm introducing things again. So I found like a couple desserts, like a cinnamon bun here, or I found a sauce, like a teriyaki, gluten-free, dairy-free teriyaki sauce. So I'm, slowly introducing more, finding things that are still gluten-free, because gluten-free, dairy-free, I feel like are solid. Like, that's what I need to focus on, and then add things around that. Fiber is obviously going to be an issue, so vegetables and stuff I'm still going to have cooked, not raw. I've been thinking about having salad, lettuce and cucumber, just to see how I feel, because I miss salads so much, and I feel like that would really help me feel better. And I could put chicken in it, and it would be just so good. So I feel like maybe lettuce is going to be just something I'm going to try, because I haven't really read anything about lettuce is good or lettuce is bad, so why not try it? And then somebody said to me today, who has colitis, who is in remission, she said, I don't think tomatoes are bad. But everything I read said that tomatoes are bad. But I love tomatoes so much. So if I could have tomatoes, I'd be one happy chick. Like, I could live off tomatoes. I'd be totally fine. I'd be totally fine with that. Oh my gosh, I really want tomatoes right now. Okay, moving on. So physically, I'm great. So thank you all for hanging in there with me. Mentally, obviously I'm on vacation high right now, so I'm pretty happy. But I'm still I still have my temper issues, and I'm still getting annoyed. And now that I was on vacation for a week and had to have people serve me food, and I had to tell them everything that I can and cannot have, I've gotten to the point where I don't feel guilty. I don't feel like I'm annoying people. I don't feel like that, because I don't know, I just did it so much that it just became normal. So maybe that was a really good thing. Like, even that I saw my counselor tonight, and she said, I think you've come over that. Like, you don't feel guilty about asking for help, and you don't feel like you're annoying or being a hassle or anything like that. So I think going on vacation really helped with that. But I'm still, and I don't know if I mentioned my temper, but let's just go back. Let's go back in time for a minute. I used to be really angry, like a really angry teenager. Let's say teenager, because I wasn't angry as a child. I was quite happy, kind of like I am now. But as a teenager, I developed a temper, and such a temper that I even warned Wes about it when we first got together, and I said, I have a temper, and if you piss me off, you're gonna see it. And I'm like, that there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I just had this. After meeting him, though, he never saw that. He never saw the temper, so it just went away. But now, I feel it creeping, and I can hear it sometimes. I hear my temper, and I even said to my grandma that I'm fearful that I'm going to turn into that person. But I don't really think that's possible, because I'm just so not that person anymore. Like, that was just, she was so unhappy. And that's not me. And I haven't been that person for a long time. And this isn't something that could just turn me back in time and take away all the good things that have happened to me. Like, I have such an amazing life that this can't overcome all of that. Not a chance. And back then, having a good thing happen was like having this one bad thing happen. So if you can imagine those two different worlds for me, and you can imagine that I had that temper. So then now when I hear that temper, I'm so aware of it, which is good. I know that that's happening, and I can immediately apologize or whatever, but it's annoying. Everything annoys me, but it's annoying that it's still happening. So, an example, on the plane, or when we get back in Florida, I open our bag, and my conditioner had went everywhere. And number one, that never would have happened before. My brain was a machine, and I never would have forgotten to wrap the bathroom things in a plastic bag, ever. Would have never forgotten that. Number two, I never would have reacted this way. like physically having to calm myself down, physically having to relax my breathing, mentally saying that it's okay. And just because the conditioner exploded and got all over my husband's clothes, and it wasn't even my clothes, it was my husband's clothes. Does he care? No, he doesn't care that there's conditioner all over his clothes. Now he smells good. And he just wiped it off, and it was no big deal. But because I'd forgotten it, and because, that's another more evidence that my brain just isn't the same, and because something bad happened, I just completely overreacted. And I'm aware that I'm reacting the way that I normally wouldn't react. Like, I'm completely aware of that, but I can't help how I'm reacting. Like, I can't. So that's an example of, like, I can't really control, like, my temper right now, or control things annoying me right now, or losing my patience quickly. Like, as much as I appreciated people, getting food and preparing food for me properly in Florida, I would always, like, look over at my husband and roll my eyes and be like, oh, I have to wait for a manager again. Like, I got really annoyed at those types of things, and I should just be grateful. So I know that I'm feeling these things incorrectly, but I can't help how I'm feeling them, so I can't. That's it. So I, spoke about that with my counselor today, more things to work on, and, she continues to say that I'm handling this, like, exceptionally well. So that's really good. Of course, there's just little things I have to work on, like my temper, and getting annoyed and getting overwhelmed very easily, because that's a big one, getting overwhelmed, especially at my job. So we talked about getting into my happy place, which sounds super cheesy. Don't judge me. I'm going to be doing it. I've already did it on my way home from work. When I ran into traffic, I already started practicing it. And I don't like homework. Like, if somebody has to give me homework, I feel like they're not doing their job. But there's some things that I'll adopt if I feel like they're necessary. So she just taught me this thing about learning keeping my happy place, and, like, how to revert to it naturally without having to think about it. So we did some practicing and stuff like that. And so even on my way home, and this guy's trying to merge, and I'm letting him in front of me, and he's, like, slowing down, and I'm like, but I'm letting you in front of me. I started doing it, like, instantly to get to my happy place, and I immediately put a smile on my face, like, immediately. And that we didn't even talk about smiling when I'm going to my happy place. We didn't even talk about it. But I don't know if I was, like, smiling in recognition that I was already reverting to that happy place, or smiling because I was actually making myself happy by reverting to my happy place. Like, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to keep doing it so that I can when I start to feel overwhelmed, I can just go there, just get there. And it's funny because there's, like, a thing to practice with, and they're, like, little vibrating things that you hold in your hands, and it goes from, like, one hand to the other. And I had this thing about ticking, and so then we practiced it a couple times for, like, 30 seconds, and then afterwards she's like, okay, let's talk about something that really annoys you, like, just in general, something that really annoys you. I'm like, ticking clocks. Like, I think everyone who knows me should know this. Ticking or clicking, like, those types of things, like, I get really bad anxiety. And so when we first started it, I told her, like, it takes, if we're doing it for 30 seconds, it takes me 25 seconds to get over that there's ticking to try and get to my happy place. So then she kept doing the ticking, and I kept, like, getting really anxious and, like, wanting to die. And it eventually worked. Like, I got to my happy place even with the ticking. So that's a really, really great example that it works. So I'm going to keep doing that. And other than that, I mean, we had a really good counseling session today. It's really nice to hear from a professional and somebody who doesn't really know who I am, that I'm handling this okay. And I believe it more and more. And I'm finding my new normal more and more, and being myself again. And I don't know, it feels really good. So that's good. But I'm on vacation high, so we'll see what happens when real life sets in and something goes awry and I lose it again. So I think that's all I want to talk about today. It's kind of a long one, but it's been a couple weeks. My cat is, like, wandering all over the place and, like, sniffing everything, and I'll go pay attention to her. And my husband's at a movie right now. We have a friend in from out of town, so I have the house to myself, and I don't know what to do with myself. I'm not at the gym right now. I don't know. Anyways, so thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. Thank you for, let's see, thank you for accepting me for who I am, because that takes a lot, and not everyone can do it, and I'm one of those people. I can't accept people for who they are. I always want everyone to change. So thank you for accepting me for who I am. That's a lot of honesty in 1 30-second thank you. Anyways, thank you for watching, and have a great week, and take care.